Inflation is a general, sustained increase in the prices of goods and services in an economy over a period of time, which leads to a decline in the purchasing power of money. The causes of inflation are generally grouped into three main categories. *****************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************Uflaget Makamar Yawaga Enrat. This occurs when the total demand for goods and services aggregate demand in an economy rises faster than the economy's capacity to produce those goods and services aggregate supply. Essentially, there is too much money chasing too few goods. Main causes: expansionary monetary policy, increased money supply, a central bank injecting too much money into the economy, often through lower interest rates or excessive lending to the government, which increases the amount of money available for spending. Government spending: increased public expenditure, fiscal stimulus without a corresponding increase in taxes, leading to higher overall demand. Increased consumer confidence and spending: when consumers and businesses are highly optimistic about the future, they tend to spend more and take on more debt. Rapid export growth: a significant increase in a country's exports leads to greater foreign demand for domestic goods, pushing up their prices. ****2 Cost push inflation Yawachi Makamar Yawaga Enrat. This occurs when the costs of production for businesses increase, leading them to raise prices to maintain their profit margins. This phenomenon reduces the total supply of goods aggregate supply in the economy. Main causes: higher raw material input costs, an increase in the price of essential inputs like oil, energy, metals, or imported components. A classic example is a surge in global oil prices. Wage inflation, wage price spiral, when labor unions or workers demand and receive higher wages, and those wage increases are not matched by an increase in productivity, businesses' unit cost of production rises, forcing them to raise prices. This, in turn, causes workers to demand even higher wages to maintain their living standards, creating a spiral. Supply shocks: sudden, unexpected events that disrupt production or distribution, such as natural disasters, wars, or pandemics that interrupt global supply chains. Increased taxes or regulation: higher indirect taxes like VAT or excise tax or new costly regulations for businesses are often passed on to consumers as higher prices. Currency depreciation: a weaker domestic currency makes all imported goods, like fuel, machinery, and raw materials more expensive in local currency terms, increasing the cost of production for domestic firms that rely on imports. ****3 Structural inflation Mawagrawi Yawaga Enrat. This type of inflation is particularly relevant in developing countries and is caused by inherent rigidities and bottlenecks in the economy's structure, rather than temporary demand or cost shocks. Main causes common in Ethiopia: inelastic food supply, the inability of the agricultural sector to quickly increase output to meet rising food demand, e.g., due to traditional farming methods, land tenure issues, or dependence on rain. Since food often has a large weight in the consumption basket of developing nations, food price hikes heavily drive up the overall inflation rate. Infrastructural bottlenecks: poor or inefficient transportation, logistics, and energy power infrastructure increase the cost of getting goods from producers to consumers. Fiscal dominance: a condition where the central bank is forced to print money, increase money supply, to finance a persistent and large government budget deficit, which is a key driver of long-term inflation in many developing economies. Market imperfections. The presence of monopolies or oligopolies that have the power to artificially increase prices and profit margins regardless of the actual supply-demand balance. In the real world, inflation is often a mix of all these factors operating simultaneously. For example, a country might experience demand pull from high money supply combined with cost push from high global oil prices and structural inflation from poor domestic food production.